There's no getting away from it. These statistics make concerning reading. The number of children living in temporary accommodation in Scotland is at its highest level since 2002. Meanwhile, we've seen 10,840 instances when Scottish councils turned people away without offering them temporary accommodation. That's despite them having a legal obligation to do so. So what's behind the numbers? I spoke to our Senior Policy Advocacy Officer, Lisa Borthwick, to find out more.
Homeless applications have remained relatively stable. There's difficulty about moving people on to settled accommodation, so people are stuck in temporary accommodation, sometimes for a really, really long amount of time. The average is about 6 months, but 1 in 10 spend over a year there. And on the other hand, we've had local authorities being unable to provide accommodation or abide by their statutory duty at all. So we've had a very large amount of gatekeeping cases where local authorities, somebody will go to their local authority, make a homeless application. Often they might have spent some time building up the courage to do that. It's quite difficult, overcoming stigma, knowing what your rights are. They've gone into their local authority, tried to make a homeless application, and at that point the local authority's got a duty to provide temporary accommodation to that person if they need it. And in many occasions they're turning people away and saying they've got nothing available, which in some ways is a difficult position to be in, but that doesn't alleviate their statutory duty. And for those individuals who are at a crisis point, it's just not acceptable at all. The law is there for a reason. It's to protect people and provide them that support in that emergency period. We've had a Scottish Government programme which has been running for the last few years, where we have seen a lot of social housing being built, but we are approaching a cliff edge. We don't know what's happening after the next parliamentary term. There is no ongoing political commitment to that, and we have a budget which we need to see the funding being put in place for this year and for years coming forward. The other element is that we really need to make sure that we are putting in all our effort into preventing homelessness in all of its forms. So whether that be making sure that mental health services are funded appropriately, whether that be making sure that there's tenancy support in place for people so they're not losing their tenancies in the first place. But that's where the building also comes in, because if we've got enough social housing available for people, then it makes the system work better. So when somebody does reach that crisis, when they lose their job or when they have a change in their financial situation, they can find another home that meets their needs, that they can afford, without being in that position of having to make a homeless application, which many people are in just now. So in short, we need to keep building.
Campaign with us. Use the hashtag #BudgetToBuild and visit budget2build.scot.